Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Tammy K with Girlfriend Talk Podcast. Welcome back. We got an awesome show for you guys today. I got my girls with me. I'm gonna go ahead and let them introduce themselves. Hey, ladies.
Hey,
Hey,
girl, Juju.
it's me, Just Ask.
And I'm your girl, Taye Boo.
Welcome, ladies. Another Tuesday. We back at it. How y'all week been going? How y'all doing?
God
Good.
is good.
Yeah, I just got off work not too long ago. So happy to be off, but then working again. But
Hmm.
this is fun though.
It's fun. Yeah, it is.
Our
Right.
work, our work is never done, but we gotta do what we gotta do. So when we blow up, we like we ain't gotta work them other jobs, okay?
Hey,
All,
I
all
want to
jobs
quit
still
my
keep my
job
job.
Well, yeah,
today.
you gonna keep yours just as okay, because we probably gonna have to see you, okay? We gonna have to see you. Um, so we gonna jump right in. What I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about Katanji, eh, my girl KK. Okay, she
Yes.
got appointed first black woman.
Hey.
First black woman. Okay, I call her KK. Y'all can call her Katanji. Tanji. I don't know what y'all gonna call her, but I call her KK. So that's like an awesome accomplishment. I see they was trying to give her the flux when they was questioning her and stuff like that. But did y'all see? I don't know if y'all saw when is it Kamala was in the Kamala? Is it Kamala?
Close.
K dot. Okay, we're gonna call her K dot. When she was introducing her or when she read the votes, it was like 47 yes and 53 no, 47 no and 53 yes. So I guess that was kind of tight. So whatever the number was. And they went crazy in the Senate room. So that was awesome to see. I haven't read up on her a whole lot. But just the feat in itself of her being the first black woman is an awesome thing. What's y'all thoughts on that?
Well, for me, I think that is very empowering. I will say that. But I think another part of this is to really explore as Black people, do we really know the reason why she's elected? And the reason why I say that is because a lot of times as Black people, we want to see each other succeed, which is nothing wrong with that. I feel like a lot has been taken from us, and so most of us have to work hard for what we have and what we want, because we're not, most of us not born with a silver spoon in our mouth. But I think that, some of the questions that we do need to ask ourselves would be, what is it that she stands for? What is it that she has to offer outside of just being a Black woman?
Black woman.
I mean, I think that that's great. I think that that's very, influential, and I'm not taking away from that, but I just feel like a lot of times we tend to just root for our people, which is great, but to understand why are we really rooting for them? I think that that's
Right.
also important to look into.
That's
Yeah,
true. That is true.
Hmm.
yeah, because we'll
But
hop on the
yeah.
band. We'll hop on the bandwagon for anybody. We be like, oh, they
Right.
coming to the cookout. You don't even know what they got going on. So that is true. I was reading something about. I think they were questioning her about her rulings, like on child pornography and stuff like that. They were saying that she was too lenient with that. So I think that's why some people was voting against her and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'll probably read up on that too, because just being black ain't gonna be enough. Like you said, it is a great accomplishment, but what does she bring to the table? What is she gonna do?
Right.
Like, do we expect her to do things for black folks, or
Hmm.
you
Well,
know?
the pros outweigh the cons. I think that she automatic did a lot for Black people, especially in this pandemic and what our kids are going through today. It put a message out there. Hey, you can still be somebody. This is still the part where you can up your education. Use this for your benefit. Get out there and go higher. You ain't got to settle for McDonald's, Wendy's, or warehouse jobs. You can do the work, and now it's paying off because you didn't see that when we wasn't in a pandemic. You didn't see that when we was coming up. A lot of that now is it should wake some of our young kids up with the things that we go into today and let them know, hey, I need to straighten up because I do want to be like her when I grow up. And now she's doing her thing and she's gonna get up there and I think she's gonna make all of us proud. Everybody, some people gonna love her, some people gonna hate her, but she's gonna do the exact same job that most of them if they had appointed someone else in that seat.
Yep, and I see that she went to Harvard University, Harvard Law School. So
Right.
that, I mean, that's awesome. And one of her friends that went to college with her got up and was able to introduce her. Her
Mm-hmm.
speech was so powerful. Like I'm gonna
Right.
try to find it and maybe send it to y'all, but I had seen it on the internet. I'm just like, and she was like, she had known her for almost 30 years. Um, and how she was in college to how she is today. And then at the end, she was like, my sister, my friend, my this, my that, just kept going with the stuff, all her accomplishments. And I was like, that right there was amazing to see. So,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I'm a sort of a conspiracy theory, and I just feel like, you know, by Obama being in the office, you know, why wasn't he able to do and get black people in like Joe Biden? It just kind of have me thinking, what was his purpose of doing that? Because they did say that Joe Biden did have something to do with it.
Well, yeah, he did nominate her, but
Right.
I don't know if you guys know this, but in regards to your comment, well, one I'm going to say is that we don't know what black people was going for when Obama was in office. We have no
Right.
idea. You know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying that if they were, what did that look like? And again, if
Right.
that's the case, why didn't it happen? But in 2012, President Obama did nominate her to serve on the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia, and it was also what they call it it was also confirmed by vote. I can't even talk by voice vote by the Senate in 2013. So she actually was nominated at some point from President Obama, and she did, I believe, get that seat. So I mean, he was there, for some of it. But I also hear you saying that, you see Biden doing more in electing Black people into working with him than Obama did. And again, we don't know what that looked like for him back then, or the
Right.
people that you know wanted to sign up for that.
It's true.
do
Right.
you think
That's a
it's a
good one.
you think
Okay,
it's a
just ask. Educate me, boo. Educate
Hey, for
me.
real.
I did my research because honestly, I'm guilty of that too. I'm guilty of just saying, "Yeah, I'm voting. I don't even know who you are, but you Black,
Right.
and I'm
Yeah.
voting for you." You know what I'm saying? So I'm guilty of that, and I just told myself that I am going to do more research on
Hmm.
people who are getting voted into office, regardless of the color of their skin. But I just think that that's important because you want to make sure you know what you're choosing and why you're doing that.
Yeah,
That's true.
absolutely, absolutely. So we'll definitely keep a lookout on, things that she's doing, and we'll definitely
Mm.
revisit it again. It is also a great accomplishment. And she is then setting the tone and standard for us Black women, Black children, Black boys, Black girls. You can do whatever you want to do. So we'll keep it at that. And like I said, we'll see where she goes. I know she'll do great things. Um, I got any last words on that, or we good?
No, I mean, I think that everything that we said so far pretty much sums up.
I'm just glad the sister in the door. I think Obama opened doors for us to, he was a stepping
I
stone for people that were scared to actually go in there in office or
agree.
whatever.
Hmm.
So I wish the best for her. I hope that she be a role model to these younger ones I hear that one day want to be her and
Mhm.
set the stone and just go out with a bang. So I'm praying that it get better
Yeah.
and she just earn and lead with that leadership that she received.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into our topic for today. But before we do that, Taye Boo, what you got for us? When do you on today? What you got for us?
Well, damn. Let me see. Oh, okay. I got a good one. So, when do you tell the person you're dating that you used to be a prostitute? I'm asking for a friend, so don't think I used to be out there selling and slanging or whatever. I just want to know with you, when do you tell the person you date you used to be a prostitute? Talk
Uh,
to me.
Wait,
it
I'm
sounds
hoping
like
it ain't me either.
this.
Asking
This
for a
sound,
friend. Don't judge me. I just want to know because, see, I need to know some of these answers in case I get pulled up or pulled out.
I'm
I don't even know what to say
hey,
to
that
that.
that took me aback. That's like a Tyler Perry play.
Well, you want to know what Taye Boo would do? Win all that? Yes.
I mean, if we being serious, I would say, well, I don't know if I would say the first date because I mean, you don't know where that's gonna go.
right.
But then what? But then I feel like I guess it just all depends on like how y'all feeling each other. If you feel like, man, I'm really liking this person, and I feel like he really liking with me, like we vibing, then maybe you should let them know.
Hey, I'm gonna let him know when he hot and bothered and he see this body, baby. Now you,
Well,
by the way, I used to be a call girl.
No,
So
um,
I may just wait until all that. I'm gonna wait until
I don't. That's tough.
I don't know.
I don't know. A
You would
couple
just
of days
bury it?
in,
Tammy K, you
a,
might just bury it.
a
You know what
couple
I'm
of
saying? That was
well,
back in my day.
I mean, but think about this, right? I mean, I know that question is more so geared toward, like when do you tell someone? What was it? When do you tell someone that you were used to be a prostitute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But think of it as any other, like
Not someone, the person that you're dating, that you're
the
seeing.
person that you're dating.
Yes.
I think it goes with anything else. I mean, I think there's levels to what you tell people when you're first getting to know them, but I think it can still work the way anything else can work. When you want when you're trying to figure out when to disclose something, when to not disclose something. I mean, I think that that's very important to disclose, if I can be honest.
What?
I
Yeah.
mean, if you wasn't a good prostitute and you ain't have a lot of clients, maybe keep it to yourself. If you had a lot of clients,
Girl, I
you
don't know who
know,
you talking to.
you know,
I don't know.
you
So are
had
you
a lot.
saying?
What?
Tammy
Are
K
you
got to
saying,
see when
Tammy?
that STD come up.
Right? Are you saying, Tammy K, that it all depends on how well he or she was doing their
You know,
job?
if you wasn't that good, maybe just, push that to the side. It's new. Your resume has been wiped clean. But if you were really good at it, you may want to be like, I dibbled and I dabbled. I dibbled and I
Oh,
dabbled in a little something. But you know what? People probably accept you for who you are. If they liking you or whatever, your past is your past. And
right.
I think I would be upfront. I would just
Yeah,
be
I
upfront
agree.
yeah.
because the
Because the
person
way that
that
I
probably
think,
Well,
the
the
way I
Bible
think,
say
I
if a
probably
man
wanna
sleep with a prostitute, he'll never be the same. So I'm
I'm
gonna have to
like
go
Tammy
with that's a
K.
hard no for me.
I might be upfront and be honest about it due to the fact that, just talking. If my friend was a prostitute, I tell her to go and be up honest and truthful with it because if you get caught, you can use it as a wild card. Like, well, baby, you knew I was a prostitute. I had a flashback.
No, I'm just
But then you
well,
got to ask yourself, I mean, would you want to know these things?
yeah.
I mean, I just try
if
to treat people the way that I want to be treated. I mean, it don't always come out that way because a lot of times it just don't always come out that way. I'm gonna just leave it at that. We human, but I also, for me, I do think a big part of that is being honest, and also, would you want someone to be honest with you about that?
Yeah,
Well, you
that's
know how
true.
they say man think with the wrong head. Sometimes we think with the wrong leg. I'm just saying.
I'm
I
just gonna
mean,
pass out
it's over talk.
applications.
It over talk. I mean, sometimes a woman probably, we try to do the right things, but hey, it's just out there for the ones that try to do the right thing, and hey, and Pusha P come out there. He could be Pusha P. She push a prostitute. So we both Pusha P's in here. I mean, I'm just saying, how do you do it? At least put it out there in
Application.
case.
Application.
Maybe
Application.
write a note. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm just gonna say fill this out.
Yeah, I think when he proposed to me, I stopped. I mean, I told her when he proposed to her, she was.
that 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 definitely caught me off guard.
It
Oh,
did
okay.
sometimes.
Well, you
Wasn't
don't
ready.
ask me no more then if you don't want the answer.
Oh
Okay.
no, we'll be back at it. We'll be back at it next show. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into our topic of the day. Should parents smoke with their children? Do do do
Now you
do.
said, can we be a little bit more specific? Are we talking about marijuana,
Hopefully not crack.
crack?
So we're gonna go with marijuana, Mary
Okay.
Jane, reefer. We're gonna stay away from the crack, okay?
Now this one hard due to the fact
Uh,
y'all just had me up here clowning. Now I got to get in serious mode. So I'm gonna be honest on this one. This one I won't. It's a level of respect for me. I can know that my kids smoke all day long, and that's just me. I'm not gonna even judge other people that probably will do it with theirs, but it's a level, with me. I could probably know if my kids smoke or whatever all day long, but hey, you keep that a secret away from me. Don't do it around me. At least I'm your mother at the end of the day, and I'm not your friend. That goes back. I'm not your friend. I don't want to do that with my kid or be that comfortable, because that's where I draw the line at. Certain stuff that we don't need to do together. Some stuff, boundaries had to be set with me.
Yeah,
yeah.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. And I know that a lot of people use, marijuana as to help them heal. But I still, it's just that it like you said, it's just like I think it's just the way that society has set up marijuana. And when they set it up to like, to be, you're not supposed to do it. So it's like a mental thing. And so with me, I probably wouldn't, because it's more mental than anything. It's just like, to me, if I gave my son or my daughter a edible or something like that, that's more of so of me being able to be like, oh, okay, it's like candy. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And although I know that they're going to be feeling some at the end, it's like it's more like candy. But the smoking is, I can't get past it. I just can't. It's just like you do you over there with your friends, and because I don't need no more. I got enough.
So
You know.
you feel, Juju, you feel it's a difference between taking an edible, and smoking marijuana. You think it's a difference, even though you still getting high.
Right. I mean, you still, well, shoot, if you smoke crack, you still get high. I mean, you drink, you can, you know what I'm saying? It's still going to be an effect. It's more so of a
Mhm,
mental thing with me, of like,
mhm,
and then you coming in the house and you're smelling like it and everything. And then, I just don't want, in some states, they still, you can't, like in Texas, you can't, uh, marijuana is not legal. Illinois is legal. So,
mhm,
with kids, it's just that, I feel like when you smoke, you giving them the right to do it, although that they shouldn't be doing it, especially in the state that you're in. Like I said, Texas, you can't do it. Or, if they're going for a job interview. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that you're not supposed to teach your kids to go against, the law of the land. You're supposed to teach them to abide the law of the land, which is written. But I just feel, it's just different. Just I don't know. It's the smoking. It's the smoke for me,
Mhm.
versus here you go, here's an edible. It's like candy, or a brownie and stuff like that. It's just so much different, and you don't smell it on 'em. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Yeah, I just think it's more so the way that society had
When
have.
it goes back from when we grew up. So just say for as our younger days being around our parents, it's a lot of things that we done and a lot of things that we did, but we didn't do it around our parents because of what respect. It's the level of respect we had with our parents. We can get with our friends and cuss all day long and say this, but when we were our parents, I'm gonna respect my mother or my father and not do that because that's the level of respect. That's the way I look at it. Just even my son smoke a black and mild, and I know that he smokes a black and mild, but he never smoked it in front of me. He knows that I know he smoke it, but when I come around, he'll either throw it or don't, he'll hide it in his out of, and I'm like, I know you smoke a black and mild. He like, it's just a level of respect. Is when my mom comes, certain things I don't do because the way I was raised and the way I present myself,
Mhm.
and I let them know, I respect him for that, or you respect your kid for that because you have gained that trust and respect for them where they can know, hey, I can do this all day long, but I'm not going to put on that show around my mom. And when the parents do it with them, is as a parent, I feel you're telling them, it's okay for you to go out there and do this. It's okay for you to do it because I do it with you. And that's not my case. I'm like, I might have minds, I do things, but my kids, they probably know it. They probably don't. But they never seen me do it with them.
Mhm.
That's because of my respect I have for my kids, if that makes sense.
I mean, that definitely
Mhm.
makes sense,
Yeah.
especially, it's the way that we were raised, because I can honestly say, like, I could have a drink with my mama because, she started, I was 13 and she like, here, have a wine cooler. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it is definitely the way that you raised. And I know that it may sound, contradicting to what I'm saying as far as, okay, here's the edible and here's, say a blunt. But I just still feel, you know, that the smell of it, it's just kind of like disrespectful. And it could be because my mom didn't smoke marijuana. So if she was, around me and she smoked, and that's the way that, I was raised and I was smoking, and you know what I'm saying, that probably would be the case. But it wasn't the case. So it's just like, here's a gummy, here's a, a brownie, or that's just how I feel. But I don't really want to do, you know I really wouldn't want to do either. I know if my son does it, if I do give him that, I do have to take full responsibility if he, oh man, I just lost my job, or something like that. It's just like there's a lot of things that will sit on my conscience as a parent. And
Right.
that's, one of them that I wouldn't want to put on him or her, so.
What you
I
think? Yeah, because you a parent.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I personally would not, and I don't agree with it. I don't judge nobody who does. That's whatever you want to do. Me personally, I would not. I'm not a big drinker, smoker, or anything like that. So, like both what Juju and Taye Boo said, I think it's just respect. Um, I'm not fond of it, and I've heard some parents will say, "Well, if they're doing it with me, then they won't be out on in the streets doing it." And I feel like that doesn't make any sense because they're gonna get high with you and then go get high with their friends. So either you okay with it or you not. But using the reason of if letting them do that with you or whatever, so they won't do it with nobody else, that doesn't make sense to me. But I feel like to each his own. It is a respect thing, but now that they made it legal and stuff like that, I see the slippery slope that we're on because it's like it's legal. So what's the problem? Um, I don't know, but I agree like with Juju, the jobs and stuff like that. It's just um I feel like that can, cause issues and stuff. So I'm gonna go with no, I don't agree with it. And the edible, mm, I don't know, I'd be laid out, so I wouldn't give it to my kid because I heard. I'm sorry, I heard you could be laid out with the edible.
Me
I
too.
don't know. So yeah, so I'm gonna go with no, but just ask what you think.
Well, I don't have any kids, and so for me, I don't know if I would feel differently. But what I can say how I feel now is that I don't know, probably in between a yes and a no. The no part could be, it depends on like their age, and when I say their age, I mean are they grown? Because my mom always told me that she's not my friend until I'm able to take care of myself. Not saying that you're still not my mom, and my mom was pretty strict with me growing up, but she wasn't strict to the point where I couldn't talk to her. And I felt like I was able to talk to my mom about almost anything. And even though, like I said, she was strict, I still feel like she created that space for me to be honest with her, even if I was like a little fearful of telling her certain things, but I still feel like she created that space for me to do that. But I do think that I do feel like a part of me feel like it just all depends on your age, because I don't think that to me I don't think that respect goes out the door just because
Mhm.
you decide, just because your mom or a parent smokes with their child. I think that to me I feel like that respect will still stay there, and I also feel like it's no difference between getting giving your child a drink, you know what I'm saying? Allowing your child to have a wine cooler at 13, or just allowing them to drink in front of you, period. Because alcohol has um, a bigger effect, I feel like, than marijuana use. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you drink, I feel like, not saying that marijuana doesn't impact like your thoughts or anything like that, but I do feel like alcohol use plays a bigger role. And again, this is just me. And you can die from drinking alcohol. There's no research that has ever been proven to show that marijuana has like a significant effect. Now, it does say it's a gateway drug, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but again,
Mhm.
I don't. I think that it just all depends on the mentality. I really do feel like it just all depends on the mentality and how far you allow marijuana to take you. I've never met anyone who has done marijuana and that then chose to go further than that. Now, but I've heard of people who have done it and then they have done it so much to the point where they feel like that high is no longer there, and so they want something to get them there or to make them even higher. But again, I can't say if I would agree um, or not agree because I'm not a parent. So I feel like I'm just speaking really on the outside looking in. But I don't know. I mean, you guys, a lot of times I hear a lot of comments I heard you say is that it's a respect thing, but I personally don't think that the respect would go out the door just because someone says, oh, my mom or my dad allows me to smoke with them. I don't. And again, but that's just me. Going to the edible thing, I think when you say, oh, I'll let them take an edible but not smoke, to me, it's the same thing. I just think that it's the mentality,
Mhm.
behind the smoking, and I think that that mentality a lot comes from society
Mhm.
because it wasn't legal at
Right.
first. So I think that that's what we kind of have wrapped our heads around. But I honestly feel like if you allow your child to drink in front of you, if you allow your child to smoke cigarettes in front of you, if you allow your child to curse in front of you, I personally think that what is the difference? I feel like if you allowing your child to curse in front of you, to me, that's disrespectful, if anything.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't. I so far, and again, I'm not a parent, but I feel like so far that I don't think it would be anything wrong with it. Is if you're an adult and you out there taking care of yourself, and as long as that respect stays there, but I think that their respect should be there anyway, because if you raise your child to respect you, I personally feel like that's gonna stay there. At least it has with me. I don't can't speak for the rest of you, but I've never disrespected my mom. Now, disrespect is big, right? I can't say I want a rebellious teen because that is a part of being disrespectful if you ain't doing something your parents tell you not to do. But I'm just talking about the way that we typically look at disrespect. Like, I haven't done that. So, I mean, that's just my take on it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah.
it's different levels of disrespect.
It is.
So it could be a variety of things. It's just the fact of self-respect. Let's put it that way. I have the self-respect to say, my mom can sit here and tell me all day long, you can smoke in front of me. I will not smoke in front of my mom. Because the way that, the respect I have for her, that certain things that I don't do in front of her. And I might say it this way, just say I won't smoke with my kids because I know that it's wrong. So I'm not gonna promote you doing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I want you to be better than me. If they even say, Mom, I know you smoke, I'll be like, okay, well, I don't want you to because I want you to be better than me. That's just something that I throw out there. That's one of the sayings or something. Not that it's wrong, but that's just my preference, with, my kids and I and the way we've been raised. Because a lot of things that you don't do, even though, like you say, they still respect you, they'll still love you, but that's just the way that you have the self-respect for your parents as you their child. Like certain things I'm not gonna do in front of my mom, or my dad. Some might not care about the other one or the other one, but they're just the way that I am. My mom's standing right there. No, I'm not gonna do this.
Mhm.
So that's just something that I was brought up to. And I think that's a lot of, now with this generation, that's a lot of things that wasn't taught. That's why a lot of disrespect come in, because they wasn't taught self-respect, or they good because now you got kids that's smoking in the open, and you can have a teacher or someone else role model walk up and say, I'm gonna let your mom know that you got that blunt to your mouth, son. Now you tell these kids, tell you, I don't give a fuck, she gonna smoke with me.
Mm-hmm.
So we wouldn't dare say that.
Yeah.
But now these kids just don't care because they're so open of doing wrong with their parents, to now they're open doing wrong everywhere else. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, and I agree with just as when she says that it depends on age, and it's,
Right,
it's a mental thing too, because like I said, most jobs, especially good paying jobs, want you to have a drug test,
right,
and they need to know when to stop, and not to just continue to smoke, and then as soon as it comes, they trying to figure it out. No, that's the grown up stuff. You knew that you was looking for a job, you shouldn't have did it.
right,
So I don't want to be that, like I said, I don't want to be that parent where they say, well, mom, we smoked together. Why you didn't tell me this? Why you didn't tell me that? No, you're not going to blame me. You're not going to blame
right,
me, but it still will be on my conscience because of the type of person that I am. There's things that just stay on my conscience where I'm just like, oh man, had I just didn't smoke with them, knowing that they need a job, or just because you could drink, drinking is fine. Like she was saying, she was just like, it's the same, but it's not the same in society's as. They're not going to test you for drinking. You could be drunk one day and then have to go to work the next day, and they are not going to be testing you for that. They're just going to test you for, drugs, basically.
Well,
So,
I mean,
Go ahead, just ask.
I
yeah.
was just gonna say, I mean, you may not be tested for alcohol use, but I mean, you could still come in there intoxicated, and which is a risk as well. And going back to edibles, I mean, if you're okay with your child taking an edible, they could still take a drug test, and that's detected.
Right, but that's what I was saying when I was like, I don't want to sound contradicting, but I said that if I did approve of something like that, that's more so of a mental thing, because I don't want my child to come in the house smelling like marijuana or cigarettes and stuff like that, and smelling up the whole house and the room and stuff like that. So, with an edible, it's just like, okay, here's a gummy, it's just more so of a mental thing to me. That's only if I allowed that or sat there and wanted to do something like that with my kids. But yeah,
Y'all,
I mean, it's just more of a math thing. It's just, that's it.
And do y'all feel like the same way, like with cigarettes? If your child smokes cigarettes, would you feel the same way? Would you feel like that's disrespectful or that's wrong because it's not considered a drug,
That's,
I
that's
mean, I
even
don't
though it
want
got
my
the
child smoking anything, and anything that can cause harm, and I know alcohol use can, if depending again how far you go with it, so I think, and again, I'm not a parent, and so I'm just on the outside looking in, but I think it's also about what you talk to your kids about. So if they are smoking and you're saying, and if they're looking for a job, I can see you being a parent say, hey, you looking for a job, you may want to cut back. You know what I'm saying? Or if they're drinking, and even if they're drinking in front of you and you see that they're doing too much, you still as a parent be like, hey, you may want to take a step back. You're doing a little too much. Calm down. So but I don't agree with cigarette smoking anywhere, just because
yeah,
of all
right.
of the damages that it can cause. But I mean, alcohol can too. But I just, I mean, I feel like we all are biased,
yeah.
to a degree,
Hmm.
and I think that bias comes from what we allow, what we don't allow, and what we agree with, what we don't agree with. And so, but again, I'm not big on cigarette smoke, so I would just not want that, period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read some of the comments off of our Girlfriend Talk podcast Facebook page. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and check us out, Girlfriend Talk podcast, okay, and on YouTube. Cheryl Beard said, I think it can promote disrespectful behavior, and I'm coming from experience. I raised and helped raise some relatives. One walked in on a session and then thought it was okay to be in on it and brought her own with her. So the point I think she's making is maybe the person wasn't comfortable with smoking, but then once they walked in, oh, y'all doing it too? Oh, okay, we finna walk in and I'm gonna do it too.
Right.
Um, Khadijah Patton says, personally, I feel that it's is a big no-no simply because a child's frontal lobe is still developing, and as a parent you shouldn't be responsible for delaying the process. When they're an adult, then yes.
Right.
So I think
That's
we
kind of
all what
what I'm going with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a good one.
That
And
was a
I
good
think,
one.
like we looking at health, we know we educated on the health issues, what's good and bad for our body. The kids today, they don't care. They abuse it. They use it as a level of abuse. They're not mature enough to actually be doing it. So therefore they get in their own lit mind and they get into these lit dilemmas and these lit issues or whatever, and they do it because they see everybody else. And that's how a lot of these kids, get laced or end up getting into, trouble because, and like you said, date rape, drugs, because they actually not educated, don't know what's been given to them. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
another thing before you decide to smoke with your kid. Anybody that decides to smoke with them or do all of that, at least educate them
Yeah.
when you doing it, because you can actually set your kids up for failure going out there taking something from anybody.
That's true.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I
Yep.
Yeah.
and I brought to Tammy K point earlier. When you said that, when some people say, "Well, I'd rather them do it with me than to do it out there." I don't know why parents say that,
I don't either.
It makes no
because
sense. It's not. I
they
think it makes
don't
them
look.
feel better. I
I
think it
Yeah,
makes
it
them
know.
do.
feel
It
better.
do. It's a
What makes you think that
justification.
they're not?
That's all.
If anything, I feel like that's probably pushing them out there to do that because they're like, man, this feels good. I
Right,
want to do this at home with my mama or my daddy.
right.
And I'm like, no, like I said, no shade to anybody who, whatever, whatever you feel, this is, our opinions or whatever, but agree to disagree. Holla at us, Girlfriend Talk Podcast, okay?
I call a spade
Um,
a spade, but I digress.
huh?
I
What
said
you
I
say?
call a spade, but I digress.
Because people would want to go toe to toe with it, and it's like you ain't never gonna make me understand what you. It does not make any sense. Just you think they're
Yeah.
gonna smoke just that one, just with you, huh?
Right.
It's just
Right.
just with
No.
you. Okay.
Mm-mm.
All right. They gonna go out their friend and get them what they call it, ganja, Mary Jane. I don't know what it's called.
Mayweather.
Okay.
And half of them
So,
lying anyway because they got their kids bringing the shit home to
Man. Okay.
them.
um, you know what? I mean, we can bring in a guest and see, what their opinion is. We're gonna go ahead and bring in Keela. How you doing, girl?
Hey, Keela.
Hey,
Hey,
Keela Boo.
think you're on mute.
Yeah, she on mute.
Girl,
Unmuted, girl. Come
girl,
on.
y'all like 40 minutes into. I'm drunk now. Shit. I'm still on the KK election. I mean nominating or winning.
Oh,
So,
Girl,
so what you think? Should parents smoke with their children?
I smoke with my babies. My baby. And when I mean my baby, I'm talking about my oldest girl. She's 22. No, I agree. It does have to be an age limit. Um, my daughter, she moved out when she was 18. In my eyes, I didn't see that she was mature enough because she was out there in the world. She's trying to be stable, whatever. I didn't go places. I didn't even go play this year. I start actually going places. We didn't been to clubs together. We didn't. She doesn't smoke, so she drinks.
Mhm.
I'm the smoker. So, but she have. I have seen her had an edible. I have seen her try. Try smoke, but it was all within my and where I'm present at.
mm,
Mhm.
The reason why I say that, we raise our children based on what society says. And I feel that when it's all said and done, society doesn't pay our bills. Society doesn't help with our children, help raise our children. All they do is criticize, criticize, criticize. You should do this. You can't do this. You can't do that. And also with the raising part, we all were raised differently. My mama wasn't raising me totally the way her mother raised her. And her mother wasn't raising her totally how her mother raised her. It's because when we all said when we were young that when I get my kids, I ain't gonna do XYZ because oh my fucking God.
that's true.
Right.
And and my thing is that this time and day, we need to hold our kids dear to us. Whether I don't care, we are the ones need to be educated before they even touch the doorknob for kindergarten. They should be learning something from us. We should not always rely on what society tells us how to raise our children, because especially our black children, when we were younger, and we're all, I don't know how old is Taye Boo, but even we're all in the same generation class, is that you rarely saw on the news that when we left the house, we were end up dead, killed, or anything, drugged, raped, or anything. It was rarely that on the news, or it was rarely that going around. Now we pray and we hope that our children don't get hooked up with the wrong friends, because their friends are not friends anymore. Their definition of friendship is
Yep.
totally different, very totally
Mhm.
different. when
Mm,
me when we were and half of us on this call, we were in high school. We were, when we say we fucking ride that, if we fucking ditch school, I don't give a damn if you was fucking on that Monday. I'm gonna be with you all day. If your mama asks where you at, I promise you was with me all day. I'm not up here. I don't give a fuck if we was in a police station. I don't know where she was at. But now they flaking. They leaving you
yep.
up for dead. They
Yeah.
setting you up for other
Yep.
motherfuckers to do.
Yep.
This is what these children are doing. They do not
right.
know the definition of loyalty,
Yep.
friendship,
Mm-hmm.
anything. We are the
Mhm.
only generations left, and I'm for real, that people say, damn, y'all been friends 20 plus years, 30 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yeah.
these
Yep.
boys and these girls are falling out of a drop of a dime and killing each other over a man. I
Yeah.
refuse to have my daughter, bury my daughter, and I'm asking her so-called friends, what the fuck happened? I don't know. We smoked, and I don't know. She fell out. Fuck what the bullshit is. What the
Mm-hmm.
fucking happened to my daughter?
Yeah.
We can't have that anymore. I mean, what it was a couple of years, not even a couple of years ago, but years ago, the Kanika issue. She was
Yep.
with a fucking
Yep.
friend.
Yep. And
Mm-hmm.
And
nobody went
still
to
to
there to
this
say nothing.
day, they don't know what the fuck went
Snitches get
on with her.
stitches.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
I'm
I'm
gonna say it
telling.
like so. My thing is, yes, I'm to each his own. I ain't gonna lie. What you do in your household and what y'all do, that's fine. But I'm gonna tell you, with me and mine, I have a controlling issue. I love my babies to death, and I refuse. And if God willing me, that I have to bury them before me. So I'm gonna educate her on every fucking thing. So my thing is like when I tell her, like, I tell her everything drinking, when I tell her, even when she's dating, I tell we can educate them about everything, but why limit ourselves to
Mhm.
marijuana or cigarettes or alcohol? No, if we fucking did it, you better let them know how it is and how it feel, and
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
the positives and the negatives. Even if you don't want to really smoke with them, I get it, but educate them and let them know. So when they do open that door, we don't open that door to, that they can come to us first, because we say, well, I don't want to know about it. Or, if you know your fucking kid out there fucking smoking or whatever, open that door up so that you be the first one they can come to and say, so they can have, you can have the answers. I'd rather tell them first before Lily and them tell them and
Mhm.
they going down the wrong path. I just rather do it first. I
Right.
rather keep educating, respect, old soul. So I'm actually, how we say it is, I'm her child. When she's always saying, no, don't do that. This. I'm the one like, girl, bye. I'm finna do it. But she's that when we on in the radio, when we in the car, she playing the old songs, Anita Baker, whatever. I'm up here playing Money Bag and Lotto. Like I be, I'm up here like, what's going on? But I think that we need to really educate our children. You could do and open that door to
Mhm.
give it. Don't open it to let they best, because they bet you don't know how they was raised, how they friends was raised. They
Yeah.
friends may
Mm-hmm.
not been raised like that. Now they're going off of what, you see it every day. You see it on TV, whatever they see. These kids don't have a mind of their own. You
Mm.
let them go. I'm telling you, open that door, the world have them. I
Yeah.
refuse to have my kids, the
I
world
said the
have them.
same thing.
I so I heard all y'all ladies' point of view, and I agree to every last one of y'all. But I'm just saying, with me, I can't. I have to educate man. My baby is 22, and I feel that she's not grown, but she's mature enough that I can have a nightcap with her. If she want to smoke or she want to have an edible or whatever, I can smoke. She'd have had an edible, but I make sure, I guarantee you that I'm not going to sit down in that world for somebody else to do something to her. Yeah, she gonna be out there with her friends, but she know mama had me, and I know how to act around. I know how to act around somebody else or not act around somebody else. So yeah, we all do things different, not in front of our parents and in front of. It's a lot of things. My mama is very cool, but it's a lot of things that I won't do in front of her, even though she's cool. I won't do it in front of her. Um, but I know that if I get fucked the fuck up, I know I don't have to have no care in the world. I know that my mama ain't gonna help me with harm. If something, she sees something, she's gonna make sure that I get the help I need or whatever. Some of these kids don't. I know there's no motive behind it. Sometimes kids just the friends lure you over for drugs to
Mhm.
harm you, or to trade you out. And I ain't gonna lie, to trade you out for another man. These are things that I'm listening to these young kids, and I'm like, where are y'all coming from? But
Yeah.
they are going from, they ain't learning this from actually home. They learning it from each other and TV or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm
Yeah.
not doing it.
Mhm.
I'm not doing it. So
Yeah.
when Naya leaves and she's around her friends, I feel confident that she's doing the right thing. I feel confident that she is paying what I do for her, that she's doing for them, that she's looking out for her friends, she's actually being a true friend or whatever. Um, and I just leave it as that. That's all.
I loved your point of view. You came in, you
Mhm.
proved your point. I love it. You hit it on the head, and you said
Right.
some things too. You mentioned that she moved out at 18, so I kind of want to bring that question up too. Do not, I don't know, I don't want to say put your kids out, but do you think there's a certain age that you should make your kids leave, or I know some people feel like at 18 they putting their kids out. And I'm not saying you did that, because you don't, I know you didn't do that.
No,
But
I did.
if she want to step out, or they want to leave, or like I said, some parents feel, oh, you grown, you 18, you need to leave. So you feel like there's an age that we should let our kids leave? Or because me, I told my kids they can stay with me forever until financially stable and you can move out and you can buy. You can stay with me forever. I get on their nerves, so I know it's not going to happen. They probably ready to go right now. But some people feel like 18, oh, you got to go. I'm done with you. You grown, you this and this. How do y'all feel about that?
I don't agree with that.
I don't
Even
either.
my son, he left at I think he was 19 when he decided to leave. And it got to a point where when I told him to do something, he didn't want to do it. There's still rules in my house, that he have to abide by. And so he left, and I thought that it was great for him, because now he sees, what we've been trying to teach him. Sometimes the kid, just got to let a kid go, and let them figure out life on their own. Not to You can still guide them, but allow them to see life on their own, because we still guide him. He still do things, and we're like, oh, okay, well, you know um do it this way, don't do that, don't, do this and that. And he call us all the time. Like, I feel like now that my son is a lot older, I have a better relationship with him, because I was just like, what in the world am I raising? But when we sent him out, he had a lot of things going for himself than what most 19-year-olds have. Like, he had the credit, because we made sure that he had credit before he went out there, so he was able to get an apartment. We made sure, he had a brand new car when he left. I mean, it was paid for, brand new car. There was things that we made sure he had a job. I mean, we set him up not for failure, but now he's good. I always tell him, I say, I think that it's really best, for you to, whatever you get is a blessing. So treat it as if it's, you're thankful, you're being humble, you know. And so he's learning that. He doesn't want to come back home, because it's not because we're not cool parents, but he still like to do what he wants to do, which is fine, but he always have an open door whenever, so I think that when you send your kids out into the world, or allow them to leave the nest, you should have taught them something to be able to, survive in this world. Because I'm with Keela, I don't want society or the world to raise my son or my daughter, because that's what we're for. And I don't want, them to go out there and have the world whoop their butt, because we've been there. So no, I don't think it's an age limit.
Yeah.
I think it's more so, even if he wanted to come home today, he can. I just don't want, if it's disrespect, he has to go. If he feels like he can do things on his own and he don't need us, and there's the door. That's
Right.
it. I don't have an
Well,
age.
I'm a big ass baby. I'm gonna tell you, I've been saying that all the time, and even when I met Juju, I was around here and they used to laugh at me. I'm like, 2022 is my year. We were so far from 2022. I'm like, shoot, you ain't gonna tell me shit in 2022, because that's the baby. That's the last of the dying breed. She getting ready to graduate. All my kids, I'm getting out. I'm going out there. I learned so much from my kids, and I always thought that I was the one was gonna teach them, but they have taught me so much. They turned my life around, and I told them that, because there's a lot of things that I have done that I wasn't so proud of them. They are aware of that. So I told them, I think God blessed me with you, to turn my life around and make me be able to structure, you guys to get out there in the world and do what you're supposed to do. But it was the opposite for me. So now when they want to leave, I'm at the door like, oh hell no, I'm not ready for y'all to leave. Y'all can't go nowhere. I don't want y'all to go nowhere. So I'm not putting my kids out there. If they want to stay here for the rest of their life, mama, look, long as you out there doing something positive, long as you out there being productive, you can stay here as long as you want to. I have no problem with that. I'm not going to tell you need to get out. You can be 45 Long as your ass going to work or got some educational background, you can stay upstairs out my way. But I'm not the type that say, hey, you need to move out. Which I know they're not gonna forever live with me, but they know they got, that, hey, if I ain't got nobody, I got mama. Yeah.
Yeah, uncle. No, I want him to be like some of these uncles out here. You got to go at a certain age, man. I'm just trying. I'm trying to walk around the house. I'm trying to get in with.
I know,
I'm
but
trying to do
that's my
other
flaw.
stuff.
Yeah.
Now, see you
Me
later.
too. I think with my oldest son, because we grew up together, so it's very hard to watch him be. I still to this day, if I wake up and he not here, I'll text him. I don't care what time it is.
Mhm.
If I hadn't heard from him, I'll text him, "Hey, where you at? You good?" And 9 times out of 10, every time I call him, is always he on his way home anyway or whatever. But what I will say, I feel like a little bit that I sheltered him. And I feel like I wish that I ain't gonna say that he would have moved out or whatever, but I feel like when you do leave, it helps you to grow or
Mhm.
whatever. So I kind of battle with that a little bit. He's 22 now. He's a great kid or whatever. But like I said, I feel like I shelter him because my teenager, I just let him go wherever. He be like, oh, I'm finna go here, I'm finna go there. I'm like, all right, and still my oldest. But I think, the older ones, they'll give you a heart attack because they out there in the world, they doing whatever they want to do, and you don't have tabs on them and stuff. So it's hard. I'm
Mhm.
like, you didn't get no book on how to. I think my issue is parenting an adult child is very hard. So I think I'm like biased because I'm like, I kind of wish that he was out there in the world. But again, I'm like, that's my baby. Because I be thinking, I'm like, how my parents just bought me a car and I was outside. Like soon as I got my car, I was outside, then here come my son. So I'd be like, I think about that too. But um I don't know. I'm like, I don't want them to go through the things that I went through. Even though, I had I had my dad and stuff like that, always a great provider, but it's just like, I'm teaching them how to, depend on themselves and make sure that, growing up to be good young men, but it's hard. It's really hard with the oldest one. So I ain't even gonna lie. I baby him and he'd be like, I'm grown. And I'd be like, I know, but you my baby. You you need some socks. You need some underwear. What you need, baby? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard, but like Juju said, the door when he leave, the door will always be open, or I'll
Right,
be at
right,
his house, either or.
right. Okay.
So our Keela dropped off, I think. Um, I do want to thank her so much for. Oh, you back? Welcome back
They
in my
had me. Y'all
Juju
had me
voice.
backstage. Y'all had me backstage. I was
Thank you.
backstage freshening up my drink.
I want to say thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you,
us.
Keela.
We really appreciate your point of view. I hope you definitely come back and see us again. It was awesome. We're gonna go ahead and close it out with Just Ask. Go ahead and take us on out, girl.
Again, another very interesting topic. And as always, I enjoy hearing from all of you, your opinions, your perspectives. And sometimes it increases my awareness and insight. So, again, thank you. And also, we love hearing from our audience. So, if you have a topic that you would like to address, discuss, hit us up on Facebook, on our Facebook talk, or I'm sorry, on our Facebook Girlfriend Talk. That's where you can find us, and then you can also subscribe to our YouTube Girlfriend Talk podcast as well. Again, very interesting topic, and so I hope everyone was able to get something from this.
Check out my pic, I'm flying this bitch. Check out my whip, we start the shit. Watch on my clips, you need to like, share, subscribe to this. Who is this chick? Damn, she thick. She rolling her hips, she playing this shit. Twerk it, watch it dip. You need to like, share, subscribe to this. Check out my pic, I'm flying.